Before you watch this video, think about what you would say if somebody asked you what it meant to be American and a Christian. Keep that in the back of your head. If you've been paying attention to the posts in our Facebook group, then you saw a lot of chatter last week about the Global Rally for Humanity. The group behind this event positioned it as a response to the daily attacks on humanity by Islam. In reality, it was an attempt to intimidate and harass minorities by a group of people who can't tell the difference between ISIS and peaceful Muslim Americans. Through our relationships with local Muslim leaders, we were part of a group organizing a counter-protest at the Richardson Mosque. After discussions with police, it was decided that no counter-protest would be held, but on Saturday morning that changed. The mosque discovered that other groups, independent from them, would be coming. Rather than let them demonstrate alone, some members of the mosque joined them, and so did I. On Saturday at noon, we set up camp on an opposite side of the driveway into the mosque's parking lot. One corner of the driveway filled with protesters proclaiming love, kindness, and equal rights, the other with expletives and racist ideologies, both carrying the American flag. I had a chance to talk to some of the people around me. The police asked that no one from either party cross the driveway, so I only spoke to people within our group, but they were gracious enough to let me take some video. This is Jordan. He's a youth minister with the Methodist Church in Rowlett. He's been a frequent guest at the mosque even before today and took the opportunity to stand with his friends.
Being raised in the Christian tradition as a United Methodist, I've grown to a real appreciation of my tradition's love and justice, and gun-toting, aggressive people like this are not seeking justice, they're not seeking peace, they're not seeking anything. That's actually a violation of my faith, and I feel it's more in line with my faith to stand with my Muslim brothers and sisters out of love and peace and compassion than it is to do nothing and so support these guys.
Salman was raised Methodist, served in the Marine Corps, and he converted to Islam a few years ago. I've met him a couple of times, and I've been struck by how fantastically different his experience is from my own.
Islam and being American. Myself, as a Muslim revert, former Marine, I don't see any tenets of Islam that are un-American. The Islam that I know and I've learned says that, first and foremost, to be a good American, as long as they don't interfere with religious tenets. And I think the problem that most Americans have with Islam is their interpretation of what the Quran says and putting it in the proper context. Anything can be taken wrong without the proper context. Even you can say the Bible that teaches that you can stone people or everything else. But that isn't for now, it's for another time. I don't see any issue with Islam and being a good American. Those two things to me, being a good Muslim and being a good American, are synonymous.
Salman's fiancée, Stacy, is also a convert to Islam. She's a doctor who specializes in virology research. In the West, we're taught that headscarves and Islamic dress for women is repressive, that education for women is discouraged, and that in their communities, Muslim women are to be silent. Today, Stacy stood in defiance of racism and let her voice be heard alongside men. She's a PhD, and for her, this style of dress is her choice and expressive of her belief system. To disallow it would be the repressive act.
I believe the ideals of what America was founded on. People came here to escape religion, persecution and freedom, and I believe in freedom for everyone, including Muslim Americans, all Americans, African Americans, people who are fighting for gay rights, everyone.
At the beginning of the video, I asked you to consider your answers to the same questions I asked Salman and Stacy. I'm going to bet that they weren't that different. As it turned out, the Global Rally for Humanity was a national joke. The turnout, even at our location, was pretty sparse, and across the country, the counter-demonstrations spoke far more loudly than the assault rifles strapped around the protesters' shoulders. It's an encouraging sign, but there's still a long way to go. We live in a time of massive misinformation and in a country that seems to be as divided as it's ever been. It was standing there with signs made of verses from the Bible and the Quran that I felt like we were forming a new community that could stand as an example for how not to simply coexist, but to buy into and build a shared vision for a better world. I'm looking forward to the next step. See you all on Sunday.
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Akbar.